Dear friends, so today we have our first lecture, which is related to public law subjects, and in particular criminal law. So on today's lecture, we are going to cover the basic elements of criminal offense. On the next lecture, we will cover the criminal offenses itself. Today, we will touch upon a little bit, partly, let's say, on defenses. And on the next lecture, we will finish with the defenses, those which relate to murder. And here with me today is Oliver Gray. He's back to us. Hello, Ollie.
Hi, Olga. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you for joining us. Just a quick icebreaker question. Recently, we had tutors who actually are outside of the UK. They are from other jurisdictions like France, Singapore, etc. And I asked them how they actually find their career in the UK and this sort of experience. And I know in your case, you more or less recently moved to live and work outside of the UK. So for us, students who possibly decide on their legal career, how do you find actually working outside of the UK, being a UK citizen?
It's interesting, certainly in a regulatory sense. It was a lot of work actually to get my practicing certificate where I am now. I'm in Vietnam. So there's a lot of hoops to jump through with the Ministry of Justice in terms of proving experience and getting a foreign lawyer's practicing certificate. And in terms of the work that's available as well, it's quite different. I work in a very niche area of investment law currently, actually, but thankfully I've had a broad range of disciplines in my practice in the past 6 years. So it's been interesting, but I think at the moment it lacks the variety that I had in the UK. I was mostly commercial when I left in the UK, and it covered a huge amount of different areas.
Great. So we may say it's possible for someone who is a qualified solicitor in England to work outside of England. So it actually gives you more possibilities than, maybe possibly some other qualifications in some other countries. So how do they treat it there in Vietnam?
It's treated fairly well. It's interesting as well that Vietnam is a civil law jurisdiction, like a lot of Asia, actually, like China as well. But they're perfectly happy for foreign lawyers to come from any jurisdiction, common or civil law. They were happy to accept me. My colleague is French-Canadian. So although most of Canada is common law, Quebec, where he's from, actually is a bit of a hybrid system. So it's interesting to talk to him. But yeah, they're quite happy to accept people from anywhere in Vietnam. But I think especially people with UK qualifications around the world tend to be fairly well received.
That's true. That's true. I know many examples as well. So qualifying in the UK, you also give yourself chances to work in many other countries. Just a quick question related to the same, just interesting for me. The weather is quite different from England, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it still rains a lot. So it is similar in some ways to England, but we have 6 months of the year when it doesn't rain much at all. And when the rain does come down, it's monsoon rain with flooding, and it's hot as well.
So how do you find yourself to be adopted to this another climate?
Thankfully, my office is not too far from where I live, but there have been times when I've been driving, and if I don't have a poncho in my bike, which I usually do, but if I don't, I may as well have been swimming. I get, completely soaked through. It's very frustrating.
Great. So let's go back to the question of criminal law. I know